These speedrunners think they are about to play a shipwreck seed, but what they don't know is that I removed the shipwreck and replaced it with an end city ship, a structure that most speedrunners aren't super familiar with. Speedrunners know Minecraft generation like the back of their hand. Even on completely random seeds, Minecraft speedruns are extremely formulaic. But what happens when you change the core principles that speedrunners rely on? Well, with modifying existing Minecraft worlds, I can do just that. Whether it be completely wrong structures, absolutely busted loot, or straight up death traps, reality can be whatever I want. That brings us to today, and the reason that over 30 speedrunners, including some playoff participants, are all about to experience this is because I am hosting a custom seed tournament, and everyone wants to take home the crown. But most especially, a speedrunner by the name of Japonk86. Japonk is a Complete the Monument speedrunner, meaning he is very familiar with custom maps, making him a perfect candidate for winning this tournament, but he has stiff competition. There are plenty of talented runners that have signed up to play, but one name sticks out amongst the rest. Aquacord. Aquacord is a top-level player, having accomplished some of Minecraft's most incredible feats. On top of that, he is a very creative player who is way ahead of the curve when it comes to learning and optimizing new strategies.
I'm the GOAT, dude. How did I hit that? Oh my god.
However, no matter how good these runners think they are, they will need to be prepared for anything. See, it's common in tournaments to announce the seed type before the runners start playing, so when I said that this would be a ship seed, what the runners were greeted with was probably not what they were envisioning.
O chuj chodzi? Ship seed!
Suckin'. Okay, ship seed, I see. The ship seed. Can I even get into it? I'm gonna grab some wood first.
It's a shipwreck seed. Oh my god, I've already forgotten. Oh, it's a ship. It's definitely a ship seed.
Yeah, ship seed. It's a freaking ship seed. I think I found the ship, you guys. That's beautiful.
Most runners instantly swam towards the ship, before realizing that they would need blocks to access the chest room, which contained iron, various tools, and an elytra. The runners crafted the rest of their tools and gathered materials before making their way to enter the nether. I marked the magma ravine with a big red arrow, so no one would get lost. I was going to segue into a clip of someone getting lost, but it looks like no one did. The arrow works!
What's on this pickaxe? It's not efficiency. Oh, efficiency what? Okay. I'm gonna take this off. This is an interesting chalice. I like it.
Another way I pranked the runners was messing with their muscle memory. Bridge is an incredibly consistent bastion, and while making the floor one block lower seems like an inconsequential change, it was my most effective prank by far.
This is raised by one, bro. Okay. Bro, what is this? Oh god, it's burning.
Huh? There's the fort. Wait, this is all wrong as well.
I made a few other changes to the bastion, but the runners were able to work around it. Something funny that I forgot I did is that there's this one chest in the bridge bastion that everyone forgets to check. It always contains a lodestone, so I thought it would be funny to put like a stack of lodestones in there, which luckily Japonk found funny as well.
There's a lodestone chest.
After gathering their trades and leaving the Bastion, there were 3 runners on very similar pace: Japonk, Aquacord, and Seravel. However, the quality of the speedrun was different amongst each of them. Easily in the best position was Japonk. Japonk used up all his food in the Bastion, but has full health and can either get more food or death reset in the post blind. He had also found a few firework rockets that I had put in the Bastion as part of a redstone contraption, and was able to use them with his elytra to soar across the seed. Contrary to Japonk, Aquacord and Seravel had both removed their elytra, since without rockets, it is only really a hindrance to their movement. Seravel's food situation is pitiful. With no food and low health, he is forced to play the fortress very safe. Aquacord, on the other hand, stayed behind in the overworld to get pork chop, and has all the food in the world. However, both Japonk and Seravel have something that Aquacord does not, but I'll get back to that later.
Yeah, I'm concerned, like, this seems too normal. Something might happen on this endgame.
A few runners were getting suspicious, as there was nothing that was changed about the fortress, so the runners played the next few splits normally. Since Japonk and Seravel had to get food in the post blind, Aquacord was the first to reach the stronghold, but he was about to discover something that would quickly erase his lead.
Now is bottom left, okay. I see the issue here.
You may be wondering, Gray, why on earth did you fill the stronghold with sponge? And to that I say, haha, funny. To understand why this is bad for Aquacord specifically, we need to go back to the start of the seed. See, there was an efficiency 5 diamond hoe in the end ship chest. A few runners, including Aquacord, wanting to save inventory space, neglected it, whereas others, such as Japonk and Seravel, realized that it might come in handy later, and took it. The ability to instamine all the sponge ended up being so useful that Japonk was able to make it to the stronghold, find the portal room, and enter the end, all while Aquacord was digging his way through the stronghold. With the elytra equipped, Japonk pushes for extra height on the 0 cycle to save time, but his greed gets the best of him, and the dragon knocks him off.
I'm so stupid.
If he went for a lower height, he would have had enough time to go for a safer, yet slower 0 cycle. This is especially bad for Japonk, as his adversaries are right on his tail. Aquacord enters the end second, and fails the 0 cycle. Now, just like Japonk, Aquacord is at the mercy of the Ender Dragon deciding if it wants to perch. Now, let me let you in on a little bit of a secret. Before I modified this custom seed, it originally was a shipwreck seed. In fact, I found this seed by playing it in RSG over 2 years ago. I was on pace to beat my best speedrun by over 2 minutes, but I failed the 0 cycle. The run ended up being over a minute slower than what it could have been, and while it was a personal best, it was bittersweet, which is why watching Seravel be able to hit the 0 cycle made it all the more inspiring, getting a final time of 12 minutes and 7 seconds, which puts him at a very comfortable 2nd place? Seravel entered the end 50 seconds slower than Japonk, and in the time that Seravel was 0 cycling, Japonk was able to get a perch and defeat the dragon, claiming 1st place by 4 seconds. And now, I think it's a good time to explain how scoring works in the tournament. The tourney is divided into 2 phases: everything before the finals, and the finals. Before the finals, if a player completes the seed, they will be awarded with 1 point. If a player fails to complete a seed, they will not gain any points. Players will be awarded bonus points depending on how high they place during each seed. At the end of 5 seeds, the 4 players with the most points will move on to the finals, where the first to complete the final seed wins. Since Japonk got 1st place, he gets 5 points, whereas Seravel gets 4. And just over a minute later, Aquacord is able to complete the seed in 3rd place, tying himself for points with Seravel. Rounding out the top 5 is Andronicus, as well as someone who I thought wasn't even competing in the tournament, Eric FZF. Before the tournament, Eric DM'd me saying they wouldn't be able to play, so I guess you can imagine my surprise to see them in 4th place. Eric is a force to be reckoned with, and could definitely take the tourney by storm. But what these players don't know is that come the 2nd seed, they will have a new threat to worry about. Before the runners even load into the 2nd world, they are given the knowledge that it is a shipwreck seed, but as they load into it, they find themselves in the middle of a random forest. Surely Gradient Gray didn't put the shipwreck in the sky. After a few seconds, all the runners are able to spot the shipwreck, where they are greeted with a comfortable amount of iron, but the food chest is where I got very generous, giving them plenty of food and a stack of TNT.
Oh dear, that is unique. Oh, the enter is up in the air. Oh, I guess I should have figured.
Before the 2nd seed even started, I gave the speedrunners coordinates to a lava pool to enter the nether, but I didn't specify a Y value. Most runners were able to correctly deduce that this floating mass of stone was in fact a lava pool, but some runners, including Japonk and Saravel, didn't, and proceeded to dig down in search of an underground lava pool. This was crazy to me, especially considering it was on their screens and they didn't notice. Similar to how 87% of people who watch my videos don't notice the subscribe button. So hey, if you're in the 12%, thank you. Your support means the world to me. And if you aren't, then please consider subscribing. You've already made it this far, so I'm guessing you're pretty invested in this video, and subscribing means you won't miss the next one. Anyways, Japonk and Saravel aren't punished, because it turns out there actually is a lava pool underground at the same chords where I put the floating lava pool. This means that everyone would end up being able to enter the nether, but faster than all would be Aquacord, who decided to do this.
Yeah, it's just this floating lava pool. Can you TNT jump up to this with this blast prot? Screw it. Oh my god. That's so cool! I saw the line. That's awesome.
Upon entering the nether, the runners were able to spot both the fortress and the bastion, and it became very apparent what I changed about it. Instead of subtly messing with the runner's muscle memory, I straight up added a 3rd rampart to the housing bastion, as well as making the lower area cursed. Due to piglin pathfinding, they all kind of ended up towards the top of the ramparts, meaning that runners that didn't do the top-down route didn't get a lot of pigs.
Dude, should I TNT jump for the 0? Is that possible? Is that even faster? That'd be ore though.
Upon leaving the bastion, runners noticed that terrain to the fort was rough, and most of them ended up taking the time loss of purling through the giant lava lake. Mr. Budgie, however, opted to take some far terrain around that avoids the lava, and Japonk did something I've personally never seen before.
Zacznijmy od czegoś lekkiego.
This guy built a TNT pearl cannon to pearl all the way over the lava. I've never seen anything like this before in a speedrun, and this just goes to show how creative of a player he is. The fort split is pretty standard, and the stronghold is pretty close, but upon entering through the second portal, the runners find themselves in a cave deep below the stronghold. I decide to punish runners who rely too much on their calculator by completely removing the starter staircase, and instead put a few arrows in a random cave which leads to an opening to the stronghold. The runners are able to quickly backnav to the portal room, but I have one more surprise in store for them. In the end, you will always spawn at the same location. This is something that the runners are so used to, that is so ingrained in the core principles of the game, that you can imagine their surprise when this happens.
What? Bro. I'm just gonna ground 0.
As far as we've seen, not a single person has TNT jumped. They have full blast protection for
Ooh.
armor. No one has TNT jumped. It's so sad.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, that'd be really, really funny to watch. But to think about that, I mean, that's just kind of crazy if you think about it.
It's true.
But sadly, we do not get the content.
Japunk in the end. Vimsy also in the end. Oh my goodness! Japunk is TNT jumping. It's beautiful!
Yes!
It's beautiful! Japunk! I love you, Japunk! Oh my goodness.
If he hits the... No! I was gonna say if he hits the 0, we have to give him some sort of extra points, just because, you know, that's an...
It's that I'm so happy, dude. Japunk decides to TNT jump from below the end island. But even with this boost, it's not possible to hit the 0 cycle. The runners are forced to either go for the ground 0 or wait for a perch. But at this point, the race for first place is over. Mr. Budgie was able to complete the run with a time of 10 minutes and 38 seconds.
Holy cow.
This is by no means a crazy time by modern day speedrunning standards, but in terms of Gradient Gauntlet, this is big. But Mr. Budgie never used any advanced strategies. He didn't TNT jump or Pearl Cannon at all. How did he save so much time? Well, it boils down to a few factors. First, Mr. Budgie is an excellent player, and the seed was pretty linear. He made consistent, low-risk plays throughout almost every split, which ended up saving him time over most runners who lost time to riskier plays that didn't quite work out. But last of all, in the same way that I am always trying to be one step ahead of all these speedrunners, they are also trying to be one step ahead of me. Let me explain. The current speedrunning meta involves using 2 nether portals in the run, the first to measure eyes and find the location of the stronghold, and the second to enter the stronghold by going to those cords in the nether. Mr. Budgie saw that the stronghold was close, and that it would likely be in an ocean biome, meaning he could probably just swim to it without losing too much time.
I think I'll swim to this. Oh, I don't have a boat. I see a dolphin.
But he also made a judgment call that I probably messed with the second portal in a way that would make him lose time, which is something that I absolutely did do. Because of this, Mr. Budgie saved time by not needing to deal with both the nether terrain and the cave in the stronghold. This isn't the only instance of runners trying to get one step ahead of me. I like to leave hints in the title and icon of the world file, and in this seed I use the color red as well as a reference to a character that always blows up, so you can imagine my surprise when I found out that before the seed even started, Japunk was practicing building the very TNT Pearl Cannon he used in this run. He was so sure that this seed would contain TNT that he even pre-crafted a button before entering the shipwreck, which the only reason anyone would do this is if there was TNT. This guy is a genius.
There's no way, man. As I expected.
Mr. Budgie got first place by almost 2 whole minutes. Aquacord and Binkus round out the top 3, and Jacko and Japunk round out the top 5. The The fact that Jacko was able to finish in 4th is very impressive, since he had a very unfortunate overworld. He reset 30 seconds in due to fall damage, only to take more from this fake water pool. Oops. He also lost his water while building his portal, meaning he had to go all the way back down just to get more. But now with the new points added up, Japunk and Aquacord are tied for 1st, with Mr. Budgie trailing not far behind. There's only 3 seeds left before the finals, and this next one is going to shake things up. Thank you for watching. This is part 1 of my multi-part series covering my Gradient Gauntlet tournament. If you want to play either of these custom seeds for yourself, join my Discord, where I post all my custom seeds and escape rooms. If you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do so is by subscribing, as well as leaving a like and a nice comment. This video took a ton of work, so I really appreciate all the support. Stay tuned for part 2.